Hello, this is Jan from Red Toad Art Studio. Today we're going to learn how to draw a toadstool house. And then I went on ahead and made a big old stamp with my picture of a toadstool. So I think this is what we'll do today. You will need just a few basic items: a pencil, an eraser, a permanent marker, a ruler, some scissors, depending on what scissors you have. If you have some decorative scissors, these make great stamp edges. Some regular scissors if not, and I'll show you how to make that same edge with regular scissors. You will need various markers. Any markers you have will just be fine. If you have the most expensive, if you have the cheapest, these will work just fine. You could also do this with colored pencil or watercolors or acrylics, crayons, whatever you want to color this with. Today we are going to use markers and a little bit of chalk, which I will show you how to use. The other thing you probably would like to have would be our step-by-step instruction sheets. You can get these on our site. They are free for you to print, and it shows you step-by-step how to draw your toadstool. If you collect these as we work through all of our videos, you'll have quite a set of how to draw tutorials if you keep these. And actually, except for paper, that's about it. Now today I am using watercolor paper. You don't have to. I like the stiffness of the watercolor paper for this. You can use mixed media paper. In fact, with markers you can just use sketchbook paper if you want. Just know that it will seep through the paper, but it will still just look fine. So any paper you want. Now I'm working on a 4x6. I just think that makes a cute size to look like a large stamp. I mean, a very large stamp, right? You can do it any size you want, okay? So, let's get started. The first thing we probably want to do is to put our stamp edging on it. Now, if you have decorative scissors like this, and if you've been in the scrapbooking world very long, you probably do have some. I don't know that most of our younger people today have these, but they're loads of fun, and if you can find them on Amazon, I'm not sure if you can find them, but you probably can. They're really fun to have. They're not easy to use, though. You can't just do a whole cut through. You just kind of do a partial cut. Let's see if I can get this here. And then you have to move it up, line up the jags, and cut a few more, especially this watercolor paper because it's quite stiff. And we want to cut around the whole edge of this to give it that stamp look. There we go, all done. Now it was a little bit crooked, but you know, I could straighten that out, but I don't think it's too bad. Now let me show you how to do this if you don't have a decorative pair of scissors, but you would like this jagged edge look. I have another piece of paper here to show you on. Take your pencil and lightly draw a frame around it. This is just to show you how far to cut in with your scissors. So I have one all the way around. Then take a nice sharp pair of scissors, regular scissors. Now, start in and just make a slant cut up to that line. And just keep going that way. Every little bit, make a slant cut. And it's up to you how far apart these are. That will determine the size of your little jagged edge. And just keep going like that. And then when you get around that side, you do one more there. Come along. Come down here. Oops, I'm out of camera view, aren't I? Come along and come down here. You see where my jagged edge went like this? Now I'm going to cut that into a point. And now I'm going the opposite direction And I'm cutting to where my cut went into the line. Now they don't always fall right out, but you can pull them out pretty easy. And look at that, we have a jagged edge. The jagged edge, I'd say, is as good as what you get with the other scissors, maybe better. But it does take a bit of patience. It's not hard. It just takes patience to go all the way around. But this is a small picture, so you can probably do this in 5 or 10 minutes, less maybe. And there's our jagged edge. Then you will want to come along and erase that pencil line, because later you're going to put an ink line there. So that gets us our jagged edge for the postage stamp look on both of these. Now see how much bigger I did these? You can do them whatever size you want. If there's too small, they do get a little tedious to cut, but this size works just fine too. All right. Next step. Let's get our pencil out and draw our toadstool. First off, though, let's go ahead and add a frame here, because if you notice with the postage stamp look, we want this white edge with the jaggeds white and showing. So let's go ahead and lightly draw that in with our pencil so that we don't go over it with our markers. So let's draw in. This is a little different than the line you did with pencil before to cut. That was the cutting edge. But you see how these don't come clear up to our line, our little jaggies. And draw lightly with your pencil. A lot of this pencil work we will want to erase. We're more or less sketching now, and I'm going to draw a little darker than you probably should, just so that you can see it. There we go. Now, let's start on our toadstool. Let me get over here. Let me get my instruction sheet. Step 1 says to draw, I will call it an umbrella shape. Now we want to leave just a little bit of space in this corner for our toadstool chimney. So leave a little space there, and we're going to do an umbrella shape. Remember, this is pencil, so things can be erased at this stage. All right. This is what we drew right there. Now, if these lines aren't even, it'll just be like your toadstool's tipped. That's all right, because toadstools lean a lot. Now we want to come here and join it with a line like this. It's not a circle that you're coming out with. It's more like a football, maybe. Now, mine is a fat football. You could have a skinny football, whatever kind of football shape you want. Okay? Now we're going to come like this. A curve that goes to those corners. We came down here in a corner, and then we added the bottom, that corner there. It's like that. Now we have drawn this part of our toadstool. Okay, now it had us putting our circles in next, and we can. We don't have to do them next. But if you do the circles, the little spots now, be sure and leave a little room here to draw your other toadstool in. Make these dots different sizes. Now on this one I had red dots and kind of a beigey background. I'm going to try on this one, I'm going to do a red background and maybe white dots. You can do anything you want, and I like to do them a little different when I do 2 or 3 of the same thing. See what it looks like. But draw several dots along here. And even maybe one that's going off the edge. See that? I'm leaving this clear. Put another dot here, maybe one off the edge there. And one more thing. Now, our instructions do not show this. But You see I have this red line going clear across. I want to add that in here, just right above the line I had, just like that. It'll show the rim of the mushroom. See that? Now we're going to start on the body of the mushroom. Right about in here, we're going to come down like that. Now we're going to do kind of a circular shape here for the bottom of the house. So we have a spot to have a door and some windows. Make a cute toadstool house down here. And you can make this any size you want. Look at that. It looks like a toadstool already, doesn't it? Alright, next step, we're going to put our door in. Right down here. You can do any kind of door you want. I have kind of a curved top door. You could do a square door. Any kind of door you want. And then I'm also going to put a window in. Now, I'm going to get rid of a few of those lines with my eraser, so I can see to put my window in better. So I'm curving this window to kind of go along with the curve of the side of the toadstool. It's an oval that's kind of curvy. See that? And then up here, I'm going to put a circle for a little window up here above the door. Now, it will tell you in your instructions to erase this. You can do this now or later. You'll see it to erase it. All right, now we're going to put frames on our door and our windows. So I'm going to come along the inside of my door and just follow the line I already had to make door frames and window frames. See that? Let's do one on the inside of our window. These are so easy to draw. You'll want to do all kinds. Decorate them different, make them different colors, change the shape of the windows, change the shape of the mushroom. Let's see. And come along here and we'll put one inside this window. I think it would be cute to draw this and then make it a haunted mushroom. Put spider webs coming down off the sides. There might be a spider crawling along up there, and I'm not sure, but I bet you could make a cute one. I haven't tried that. Being Halloween, maybe I should. Now I'm going to put a round doorknob here. You can put any kind of doorknob you want. We're ready for the second page of our instructions. And what we're doing here is putting the hinges on our door. So can you see what I'm doing? We are going to put 2 parallel lines here and 2 more here. Alright? Now we want to make the little arrow shape. I don't think you can see that very well on this because of the color I did it. I should have done those a light color, then you would have seen that. So a little line straight up and down, above and below the 2 lines there, and then bring it into an arrow. It looks like an arrow, actually, that's pointing towards the side of the door. Makes neat hinges. Now you can do any kind of hinge you want, though, because this is your toadstool house. And then, let's see, where are we? We are putting some more framing in the windows. So come along here. We're kind of outlining little window panes. Nothing exact about this. It's kind of what makes it cute is that it's not. See how we did that? We're doing a square there for the upper window frames, another square, and then coming down here. And we had cute window frames. Now let's come up here on the roof. The way these toadstools have an overhanging roof, you can look up at them. And sometimes toadstools look really neat underneath this part. So we're going to draw some kind of raindrop shapes or water drop shapes, just like this. Let's just do one on each side now. Get a feel for that kind of shape. Teardrop, raindrop, whatever you want to call them. See that? Now we're going to add one on each side of those. Yeah. And inside each one of those, we're going to put a little replica in the center. Now remember, these pencil lines we can erase. And if you make a little mistake, don't get too paranoid. When you come over that with your ink, you can fix it easy then. We want to have fun with these things. All right, I do believe we're ready for page 3 already. We're going to put the chimney on, a toadstool chimney. So let's come along right here. See how that is? Kind of a rounded bottom. An umbrella shape here and here. See how that is? Now we're going to come from this little corner, and this gives it depth, like we can see underneath that mushroom. Now let's put some little dots on that mushroom. And come along and erase this line. Now, do you need to add any dots down here where we left space? I think I'll add one right there. Okay. You know, let's add kind of some grass here at the bottom. You'll see how that is here, just a little bit of green grass. So here we go. Just some jagged grass that comes up to the doorway. After all, this is probably sitting out in the woods somewhere. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw a little line under that. You can or not, that's up to you. And then right here, this is not in the instructions, if there is a little step out, come to the side of the door here, just draw a line out like that, like there's a little step outside the door. Now there's one thing we didn't do to the door. I missed putting the wood slats in the door. So let's go back to the door. Let's draw a line straight down kind of in the middle of that door. It's like it's being made out of slats of wood. Now I like to curve each one of those little slats under here, and I don't know that you can see that. It just makes that door look a little neater. Right there. And if there's other things you see you would like to do to this, remember, your toadstool. You could put little dots here or decorations on it or little sign, whatever you would like to do. Now, to finish this as a stamp, I put 5 cents. You can leave that out. You can put 10 cents, 50 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, anything you want there, but I'm going to put 5 cents like this is a stamp. Okay, come up here, draw a straight line for the top of 5, and come down. See, that's just like a corner. Come under there, just like this. Make a big backwards C. Do the inside of that backwards C. And there's a 5. And now let's do cents. We are going to do a C here. Little line up above, little line at the bottom. There we go. We've done all of the drawing. Wasn't that easy? Took probably, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes. Once you've drawn several of these, you can draw a toadstool in no time at all. So our next step is to ink it. If you want to ink it, you don't have to ink these. You could go ahead and color, but I prefer inking them. But that again is your choice. So the next step is to get your permanent marker and ink all of this. Now to me the hardest part is getting this straight line on the outside. You could use your ruler if you want, but if you go slow you can probably do it just fine. Part of the secret of inking is being slow and careful. Don't rush it. All right, I have finished inking. So now let's erase our pencil lines. Now we are ready to color. I hope you've enjoyed drawing this mushroom. And in our next video, we will come back and color this with markers. And it is so much fun. So I'm going to say bye-bye for now. And I will see you in our next video.